Welcome to a special episode of the Iowa Girls Wrestling Podcast. Today I have Bryan Eastlick from, I'm not even sure where you're from to tell you the truth, but you're starting a new wrestling club and we're going to find all that information out. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. You know,
I'm happy to have you on and promote any girls wrestling clubs in the state of Iowa. That's great. Um, what's going to be the name of the club?
oh yeah, we're gonna be the Lioness Legion is the
Lion.
name I found out, or not found out, but kind of came up with.
Nice, I like that. And where's the location of the club?
Albia, Iowa, kind of
Albia, Iowa.
southern Iowa, trying to get some southern Iowa girls out here. And
Yeah, no, that's great. Albia's got a pretty strong tradition in boys wrestling, so it's
Mhm.
good to see a lot of connections there. Um, what are we looking at for like schedule and sessions and things like that?
Right now we're in our summer session. It actually starts Monday, so if this is when this is coming out, we might be doing our first practice today at 4:30 to 6:30 at the MAC Modern Activity Center in Albia, aka the Albia Wrestling Room.
Okay. And what area are you going to try to draw from then? I mean, it's Southern Iowa, but I mean, what are some of the areas that maybe if I know some people in the area, I could let them know about it.
Just trying to get kind of anybody that's interested. Like I know there's a lot of parents that their girls might want to wrestle, but they're scared that they're going to be mixed in with boys and stuff like that. And I'm kind of
Yep.
trying to offer an exclusive club with all girls. And that way, and I've got some great coaches that, we can learn, we're gonna learn a lot of great technique and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to draw from Southern Iowa to start from, and then just as we go and the ball starts rolling, hopefully from as far as way as they want to come. So
We'll talk about the unpleasant thing we always have to talk about is, cost of your club and just so
mhm.
people are aware when they walk in the door.
So the summer session right now is running about $40 a month, which is it breaks down, $10 a practice, for $5 an hour, and then four times a month, so $40 a month. When season rolls around, it's going to be $80 a month. We'll have two practices during the week. So yeah, roughly it's the same price per practice. Just we're having twice as many practices. So we'll
Yep.
have, it'll just be double the price during season.
Just because I know from other clubs, if there's walk-ins, walk-in price set
Yeah.
yet, or
So I'll probably just a drop in practice would be somewhere around 20 if you want to drop in and wrestle.
yeah, yeah. Are the girls around? Do they want to pop
Yeah,
on quick or
yeah. Aiden,
whenever
go
they
get your
get down
sister
here?
real
That's
quick.
fine. Yeah, no, that's fine.
It's
Whenever they get down here, that's not a problem. You kind of said what inspired you the having just an exclusive club, just where girls can go and feel comfortable. Have you had much, have you had a lot of people reaching out and asking about that?
I've got 11 girls signed up, my two plus about nine others. And a lot of these were from, we had a girls mat club in Albia we started a couple years ago. It was more affiliated with the school. We only got to do one practice a week for an hour. Um, and then the second year I did it again, and it's a lot of the girls from there. And last year when we went to tournaments, I had a few girls that I talked to after my daughter wrestled them. I was like, "Hey, I don't know where you're wrestling at, but if you do want to come, wrestle with an exclusively girls only club, we have it down here in Albia." And what we did was I've got actually a couple girls that have came from that interaction with the parents, and because like I said, it's sometimes they want that, hey, it's gonna be girls versus girls. That's the
Yep.
biggest thing I've run into, and especially they're like, hey, what kind of like we're definitely gonna plan on hitting a lot of girls tournaments this year as much as we can. Obviously, we're gonna try to see if the tournaments, will offer like don't specify it, but we'll ask, hey,
Yep.
I've got a girl that only wants to wrestle girls. Can you accommodate that? And usually I've had good luck with when I contact them. They've been pretty good.
Yeah, and I've noticed a lot more all girls, divisions and just all girls tournaments coming up. So we
Oh
have
yeah.
even a few up here in Northwest Iowa. We're getting a few more.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's it's great to have this those all girls because I know exactly what you're saying. Once it's sanctioned, the high schools broke open because they didn't have to wrestle the boys anymore. So yeah,
Hmm.
no, that's awesome. Have there been any challenges to the getting the club off the ground?
Just I think getting the word out was kind of like because I've been doing softball stuff right now. I kind of started thinking about it, doing it like around the end of February and March. It's kind of like I saw another person starting a club in Albion. And I was like, man, you know what? Like I'd really like for something for my daughter to go to that, where I can get, good girls to wrestle her, iron sharpens iron kind of
Oh yeah.
mentality. And that's I'd like to have some, I want to have all my girls be really good when they wrestle each other and then they go out and they wrestle, in other tournaments and then, like, when they don't have to be like I hope their toughest partner is in the room, you
That'd
know.
be great. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's like yeah, I'm trying to get like good girls in there to wrestle and help each other and then just build a like a family atmosphere with them because I from watching a lot of even the Albia girls program, I know that they're really tight with one another, and it's like they're a close family. I
Yeah.
think Slater Poe and Darren Helm are doing a great job with them. So
Yeah, I think just from my experience coaching girls also, the more you can relate it to that family environment, they really pick up on that. The dual tournaments, for high school is
oh
great
yeah,
because we can really build on each other and stuff. And they're starting to become some more youth things.
oh
I
yeah.
know I saw the girls go up again, but when they come down, we're going to catch them.
Yeah, I might have to
Um,
grab them real quick if you want to, and then they can jump in real quick. But I think
yeah,
they're too impatient. They're
gotcha. Oh,
girls,
okay.
not
Perfect.
not.
Why don't we? We'll just pause and I'll just cut that and we'll just have them guys
Perfect.
come in and then we'll continue on.
Yeah, I got fancy equipment. Yeah, I used to love doing podcasts and stuff. I just never, and then kind of just stopped kind of having time to do it. And,
I can
but
see where
like,
that
it's
that can happen for sure. I get
all right.
busy and stuff. So
You just want me to jump out of the chair and let them jump in and
perfect.
talk?
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm Troy, by the way.
Hi, I'm Aiden.
Hi, Aiden. So what grade are you in, Aiden?
I'm going into seventh.
You're going into seventh grade. Have you been wrestling very long?
I've been wrestling since I was 5, but I took like a break.
Gotcha.
So
Have you have you been competing the last couple of years?
I did one tournament last year, I think. It was last year. Or it was 2023. I can't remember.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So are you excited to get a club started in the area for all girls?
Yeah, I mean, because the other clubs are like in Des Moines and like they're like
It's
farther
yeah,
away.
a lot of driving just to get a couple hours of wrestling in. So that's awesome. Um, anything that we know that's I'm trying to think of something good kind of hit me on the spot here, but um, why don't I just go through some of the questions that I ask all the girls on the youth stuff? Other than wrestling, what else are you involved in?
I do softball, volleyball, basketball, and I want to start golf. Stop. Oh my gosh.
Man,
That was
you do
foolish.
about everything, don't you? What position, since it's softball season, what position do you play?
Pitcher.
Oh man, I've always wanted to learn how to pitch. That's something I've not been good at. In school, now that school's out though, what's your favorite subject in school?
I don't like any of them.
You don't like any of
Like
them, not even
lunch.
lunch.
Lunch
Lunch is
maybe.
a great period. That's that's a great time. Um, a lot of times in wrestling, we get ready listening to music. Do you have a favorite type of music that you listen to?
I listen to like Treaty Oak Revival. This is so awkward. Um,
You're all
Treaty
right.
Oak Revival, like Ty Myers, like or like it depends. It really does. It changes.
So, if you were going to have a walkout song, say you're going to have a dual meet and you're going to walk out to a song, what song would you choose?
That's hard. Um, I have no idea.
Have no
I had a
idea.
song planned, but like now I don't remember.
That's all right.
It's
That's all right.
it's like something AC/DC probably.
Oh,
Like
very good.
Thunderstruck or something.
Yes, that'd be an awesome one. Do you watch any Disney movies? I'm a huge Disney fan, so I usually ask kids about Disney. Do you watch any Disney movies?
Yeah, sometimes I watch like Cinderella to go to bed. I
All
did
right.
that a couple nights ago.
If you could wrestle any Disney character, which character would you wrestle?
Probably like the pig from Moana. Wait, no, a princess?
It doesn't have to be a
Princess?
princess. It can be anything. I don't.
I
The
want
pig
someone
would be
that's an
great.
easy target because I don't want to lose.
Gotcha. Why don't you have your sister hop in and I'll get some questions out of her. Hi, Lincoln. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm Troy. I know you probably don't know me, but what grade are you in?
Uh, Second.
You're in second grade. Have you wrestled before?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many years have you wrestled?
One.
Just one. And did you do any tournaments last year?
Yes.
Very good. How'd you do?
Good.
Good. So, are you in any other things in school? Any other sports?
Softball.
Softball? And what position do you play in softball?
All right, field.
Your right field. That's the longest throw in sports. Did you know that from right field to I believe third base is the longest throw you can make. So I'll just ask you some other questions. So we're getting to know you as a person and not just a wrestler. Uh, in school, what's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Are you good at math?
Hmm.
I was never good at math. Is it what's your favorite part about math? You like what are you doing like starting to get into algebra yet or not?
No.
No. How about multiplication, division, fractions,
Uh-huh.
that type of stuff? Are you
We
good at
already did
fractions?
fraction. Yeah, I
You did
like
fractions?
fractions.
I am horrible at that stuff. My brother's a math teacher though. He got all that math smarts. Um, do you like watching movies?
Yes.
Do you watch cartoons?
Sometimes.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Um. What? Okay. I need to think about that.
You need to think about that.
Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Don.
Okay. If you could wrestle any cartoon character, who would you wrestle? Is that a tough one?
Yeah.
Would you pick would you pick a tough cartoon character or an easy cartoon character to wrestle?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I
All
don't
right.
really
Do you want
know.
to do would you want a challenging match?
Sure.
Sure. Are you excited that you're going to have a girls wrestling club in the area?
Kind of.
Kind of. Are you
Kind of.
excited that your dad's going to coach?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was good to meet you. Let's finish talking to your dad and you have a good night. Very fun.
And that sounded interesting. I don't know exactly what you asked. It sounded like you asked sounded like you asked the favorite subject and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah. Yep. When I do the youth shorts, I usually try to get to know them a little bit more than just wrestling. See what
yeah.
see what they're about, you know.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you said you had some really good coaches coming in. What can parents expect as far as coaching and training technique, things like that?
So yeah, we're gonna definitely work on a lot of technique. Just getting down a good base of moves, not like throwing a ton of them, throwing a ton of moves at him right away. We're gonna work on, about three or four good moves out of most positions, a good like some takedowns, some good moves off bottom, some good turns. We actually do have a wrestling camp that will be July 26th. It's going to be called Pin to Win, and it'll have Mia Palumbo,
Oh,
um,
nice.
2023 or 2024 national champion.
Yep.
And then Shelby Davis from Grandview, 100 career wins in the state of Kansas, racked up a whole bunch of pins there too. So she knows a thing or two about pinning, both of them. So a couple of great just girls to have for a camp. But yeah, we're gonna learn. We're gonna do a lot of good drilling. We're gonna do some situational things. Just kind of get them ready for things that they might see in upcoming tournaments. And then after tournaments are done, I'm gonna go through and watch matches and say, hey, what were positions that we got into that we can work on and just kind of revise and, keep going from there. See what we're doing wrong and right, and praise the things we're doing right, and just kind of and then work on the things that aren't working.
Well, very good. Starting, I'm assuming folk style for sure.
Yep.
Are you going to hit any freestyle in the after, maybe a spring session?
Yeah, I do want to like I do think that a good little break after folk style season is kind of necessary. So we might hit a little break after folk style season and then do some freestyle. I definitely do think freestyle is a very necessity with girls wrestling, especially when they go to college. So it's like it's good to have that background.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And for the foreseen future, we're not going to see it happen in high school yet. So, they got to have probably a little bit of background on both. So now that's
oh
great that
yeah,
you're going to
I think
offer
you
that opportunity.
just the takedowns and stuff like that in folk style really transition, but then the turns and stuff like that and the turns and like what are you doing? No.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's no,
Sorry,
you're
she's
you're fine. You're fine.
I
You're
don't know
fine.
why she's interrupting me, but
That's all right.
that's
That is all right.
yeah, it's
So
crazy.
obviously
Um
you're running about 11 girls to start with, which is a great number to start with.
yep.
That's real close to I think this year I started a youth girls club also that was just a one night a week thing, just like you were saying. That's how you get started. Right around that same number, that 11, 12, somewhere in there. Good numbers to work with because you can get to everybody and help everybody out. But
Yep.
what is the goal? What's the growth? What would you like to see happen in the next year or so?
I'd love to see a good group of I'd like to see like 10 girls before in between K through 6, and then a good number of junior high and even some high school girls. I'd like to have, girls that, I can that at the high school level, if they need help or it's their first year going into high school, because sometimes, I think there's going to be some girls that go into it this year, junior high. I think the girls that I've got a few that are junior high coming into like wrestle the summer session. I think it's really going to help them going into the junior high season. So, and then I think they plan on doing tournaments as well. I think the way they do the split seasons with that, I think they're still going to do basketball and then do like our wrestling practice and do some tournaments, during the season too, during basketball season, then wrestling season. I think someone said that they're doing basketball for the split season first and then wrestling the second half after
That's the way
Christmas break.
yeah, my conference is the same way. A lot of the areas are switching to first season, which, I'd like to see that happen, but
Then it also
it's not,
splits the boys too, so
yeah, yeah.
they're not in the same, at the same time wrestling. So
Yeah, and for a lot of teams that's not possible yet. They need the coaching staffs aren't built up and stuff. But like you said, there's a lot of first year wrestlers both in middle school and high school, and having a supplementary club in the area to help,
mhm.
bring them along that's a great thing because still high school and middle school sports is where most people get their introduction to sports. Parents are
Mhm.
busy now, parents,
Oh yeah.
cost and things like that. So, no, great. I think that's an awesome opportunity for girls in your area. Um, your experience coaching, I guess. Why don't or coaching and coaching girls? Why don't we talk a little bit about that?
So I've coached a lot of I've coached at the youth level when I was younger. And then I actually went to school for teaching. Don't teach anymore, but when I was teaching, I was a volunteer coach with Albie Wrestling. Got to coach with Dave Winger, Darren Helm, Jared Bricker, and then also Jeff Beal is part of that staff. Aaron Reeves as well, Aiden's dad. Aaron Reeves will actually be helping us this year too, so in our club. So bountiful knowledge there with him.
Yeah,
And then yeah, Aiden. I haven't really like coached with. I mean, kind of. He came in and he helped our girls club during the when he was back from break. So it was nice to, just be able to have those coaches with, I mean, I've got the years of experience, but I always ask, I can always get better, and
Oh
I
yeah.
can, I can always pick something up from someone. So,
Yeah, you'll probably find that, and I find this all the time. I probably pick up more at clinics and camps and stuff than any of the kids ever do. You know,
oh yeah, a lot
so
of
yeah, that's
stuff. Oh yeah, and then also I have Trent McKim that will help me this year too. He'll be more toward the winter time when season picks up. Job just right now, he's working summer hours with construction, so it's like I won't be able to get him until. But like I've got a great amount of staff, or I got four guys with me besides me, and or three guys besides me, and then like yeah, like I said, I've coached with a lot of guys, and just the winger was a really big inspiration to me. A guy that's got over 300 wins at the varsity level with boys. Just a bountiful amount of people that I can ask questions, when I need to. I mean, not that I there's a lot of stuff. It's the first year. I'll probably have a lot of questions I gotta ask, and I'll probably ask you some questions too here
oh
and there.
yeah.
So,
No, that's fine. Like I had said, and I think I'm sure it was off camera, but if you need any help with through AAU stuff for insurance and so everybody knows this, we're always willing to help young club or all girls clubs get insurance cheap or free, probably free. So
mhm.
just to kind of help them come along. I'm going to go through and I figure I might as well do this because I do this all my podcasts because I like to get to know people, not just in the wrestling area, but I want to get to know them and have other people get to know you because then they might
Mhm.
feel a little bit more comfortable, see that you're kind of a fun guy to be around. Um, we'll start with something simple. What's your favorite wrestling shoe?
Oh, the favorite one and it's gonna be probably our club shoe is the gold Rudis. The all I see is gold, black and gold
Ooh,
ones.
ooh, those are
That's
nice.
yeah, black and gold's like I just it's such an intimidating color scheme, and like I loved those shoes. And my daughter's first shoes were my youngest Lincoln. They were the white and gold. All I see is gold ones, and they're sharp. So.
I've worn since Rudis came out and had the Sly Fox. I've bought Rudis shoes, and then this year, every podcast I do, now I'm not going to say every, but the vast majority of the girls that I've talked to, they all wear Inflicts. So I'm going to break down. I've never had a pair of Nike Rest. I've had one pair. I take that back. It was given to me, and I hated them. But I'm gonna
That's what I wore in high school was the sweeps, the Nike
Sweeps. Yeah.
sweeps.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what they were because they were not my favorite shoes. I did Asics, high school and college did Asics, and I've been a Rudis guy for the last probably 5 or 6 years. But I'm going to try some Inflicts just to give that a shot. Um, if you're, if we're going to go out to eat, you get to pick wherever we're going. What are we going to have?
Oh man. You know what? I've been hankering for some Chinese food lately. I have not
Ooh,
had we had two Mexican restaurants in town, and I could eat Mexican every night, but like I love Chinese food too. So
okay. I'm going to hit back into the wrestling realm here. Um, I'm not going to give you just your preference. I'm going to see if we're old school coach or not. It's second period. What's your choice?
ooh where are we at? What's the score?
Well, it's close. Let's say you got taken down the first period.
Taking down the first period and I wasn't
Yeah,
getting up.
yeah. And maybe didn't have enough time. Maybe it was towards the end of the period, so it's hard to tell.
Oh man, and I'm the wrestler, huh?
You're the wrestler.
I'm gonna always believe I can get up, so I'm gonna go bottom.
As a coach now, with girls, what are you gonna what are we gonna work on so we know what to choose, or so they know what to choose.
Um, the I've had some situations with my daughter Lincoln. Like Aiden said, she only wrestled one. She didn't wrestle any tournaments last year, but
Yep.
Lincoln, she was wrestling a kid that she hadn't she lost to him earlier in the year, and she was wrestling him again. It was third period, and she wanted to go top, and I was like, you got it, you or she was yeah, she was down by one. So I was like, you need to go bottom, because she was like, just she could get out, but it just it was one of those things. So yeah, I told her to pick bottom. It's usually I don't think she's situationally aware yet, but like the
Yep.
girls that are, I think they should know. They should probably always look to me and say, "Hey." Usually, I usually kind of like let them kind of decide, "Hey, where do you think you're
Yep.
gonna like? Do you think you can get out? Then go for it. If you don't, do you think you can take them down? Go neutral." Go top if you think you can, try to get a turn. So it's kind of like I let them I kind of ask that question, like
Yep.
situationally, where are you at points wise? Can you get out? No.
That's a
So
good way to look at it. I will tell you with girls wrestling that the guys that say we're taken down, no matter what, have had some problems. What you're saying is knowing the confidence of that girl and what situation it's in, knowing
oh
your
yeah.
athletes, because
So,
this happened to me, and this is when I changed my mind. I coached with Jason Shepard, whose daughter was a three-time state place winner, one of the top girls ranked probably from her freshman year on. And the same situation, she was down by one in USA or AAU state for a third and fourth place match. Chose top, and I about freaked out. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he's like, "No, let her make the choice because if
yeah.
I tell her what to do and she comes off the mat after she lost, I'll never hear the end of it." So I let her make the choice. And I was like, "Oh, I like that." So that's
Sh-
that's kind of the philosophy we've gone from there.
She
Um,
ended up, just to let you guys know, she ended up getting out, tied the match, got a takedown, and then ended up pinning him. So it
nice.
was,
Not,
it was one of those things
that
where
was
it's
a
like, I just wanted her to get out and then
yep.
have a chance, and then she
Yep.
did the takedown. So
Very good. That's an eventful last period for only what's
a
youth about a
minute, a
minute period.
minute,
That's a
yeah,
lot to get done. Um,
yeah.
I've asked this question a lot of different ways, but I always like to know what type of music people like to listen to.
Oh man, I am so all over the board with music that I like.
How
So,
about if you had to pick a have you had to pick a walkout song for yourself?
oh.
What would you choose?
Oh man, I tell you what, it's I love the movie Top Gun. So I would go with what's this Danger Zone.
There you go.
Highway to the
That's a
Danger Zone.
that's a great song.
Oh yeah.
Um, binge any TV shows?
Oh, I tell you what, I love Ted Lasso and I'm on my third watch through on it because I love
Nice.
it. I'm actually we've got a softball game coming up and I'm gonna dress up as Ted Lasso for the game and give him a pregame talk as Ted Lasso. So it'll be
Oh, that's
fun.
awesome. That will be fun.
So yeah,
Um,
I like to have fun as a coach. So we're gonna have some fun doing some practice, and then we're gonna have some team events together where we get together and go have a day at the pool, or like a barbecue and stuff too. So
yep,
building that team camaraderie.
that's a great way to do it. If you can look back at some of the coaches you've had or been around, is there something that sticks with you that's maybe something they say or just a philosophy that you're going to bring to this?
I've been blessed with a lot of coaches I've been around. Kelly Wolf, Eric Griffiths, Dave Winger, and like I said, Darren Helm, Jared Bricker. There's a little of me in all of them, The biggest thing, like I feel like Kelly Wolf and Dave Winger are like the same two coaches. Like they're not gonna like they're gonna like they're not gonna like get like mad and angry. They're gonna like say, hey, let's break down what you did and then we're gonna get better from it. They're not one of those like when you do something bad and you know it, you disappoint them. So it's like they don't yell at you when you do something it's like bad. They just kind of if something, what I mean? Like they
Yep, I
don't
know
really
exactly what you mean.
they don't harp on you or anything. You kind of it's like you're like, oh man, I let coach down. But it's like I'm never gonna like, hey, if you gave your best, that's one of those things.
Yep, looking at effort.
You know,
I
uh
always find this to be a fun question here. So I don't know how it happened. Either you got bit by a radioactive spider, you came through space and you hit some radiation, something. It's usually radiation or something happens. You have a superpower. What superpower would that be?
Oh man. Oh, as a wrestling coach, read minds.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you know, I could read the other if I could read the opponent's mind while they're wrestling them, and I could just, you know, yell at 'em- or not yell, but like tell my kid what to do, you know, what they're thinking and how to counteract it, you know. So I think, yeah, reading minds, that would be what I would do. And then also it would work in coaching against other coaches, you know. You could kind of read
Yeah,
their mind on what they're doing, maybe who they're going to send out before you, so you can kind of play that tactical game.
that would be a good one. I like this question too, and I get I get a lot of the same response on this, but we'll see what your thoughts are. You just got a new job. You're the head of the NFHS National Federations of High Schools, and you're in charge of making rules for wrestling this year. What rule change would you make?
Mm. Oh, geez. Uh, man. Uh, I mean, I would probably pushing the pace, like the stalling and stuff like that. I would make sure that the action was more packed than it was. Make sure they're calling stalling quicker and, you know, like that. That might be. I like action paced matches.
Yep. Nope.
So
That's a yeah, figuring out a way to get that stall call more uniformed and it's actually
yeah,
getting called when needed to be. As a coach, that's one of the most frustrating things I think is not having consistent
yeah.
stalling called. Um, just so you know, a lot of the people that I've talked to and you haven't maybe thought about this and stuff yet and with the girls pushing towards that freestyle, but a lot of them will say the step out point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because then it does do a kind of what you said. It keeps that action going towards the center of the mat because they're not, they're going to always circle in and we're not going to play the edge of the mat. So that's just one of those things that I like to just see where people are at on that. Um,
I've always had coaches that are that have told you if you're pushing someone out toward the mat, they'll always take that shot
yep,
on the because worst comes to worst, you know, it's out of bounds and
yep. We actually, when I was in college, we worked that every day at the end of practice. We would circle in and take a shot out,
so
just so it makes it look like you're not stalling.
uh
Um, last question before I give you a chance to have just maybe a little bit of final thoughts. Tell everybody what you want to tell them. Um, and I actually got this from a lot of the Grandview guys. Nick Mitchell's, you talk about Aiden Reeves and stuff, and Nick Mitchell's a great coach, and listening to him always inspires me. But he talks a lot about gratitude in life. And is there something that you're grateful every day that pushes you to just be a better person?
just yeah, God. You know, I found you know, it's just grateful for all the things he's done for me, the people he's put in my life. You know, that's the gratitude I have. Like the people that, you know, help me, my wife, my kids, my family, the friends, you know, my wrestling community, my church family, everybody. I'm grateful for the people that I have around me that support me and, you know, help me be, you know, live out something I want to do, you know.
Awesome. Very good. I'm going to give you a chance, a little final thought on the evening, and it probably will be fairly profound, I'm sure. But no, you just whatever comes to mind, and we'll finish up.
Oh, yep, Lioness Legion, look for us out on the mat. We got the black and gold color scheme. You know, black is intimidating, the gold is what we're striving for, and just want to build a good group of girls to take out there on the mat and learn the sport and, you know, trying to like build these high school programs up so we got some, you know, some really good wrestling when they, you know, as the years come on, you know, and just make it, you know, that high level that the boys is right now, you know.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I'm gonna try to get this out as quick as possible, get the word out about your club, and we'll have continued, maybe some continued things throughout the year, see how the progress is going, and
Awesome.
keep building that club. All right. Well,
Awesome.
thanks a lot.
No problem.